Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and once again I'm coming to you with another field strip video. And in today's field strip I'm going to show you how to take apart for cleaning and maintenance the Daniel Defense Daniel H9. And as I'm filming this video, this is kind of a new pistol on the market, but it's not necessarily a new design. This is Daniel Defense's take on the older Hudson H9, which this is a pistol that was introduced a few years ago, kind of took the gun world by storm. It's kind of a mix between a Glock and a 1911, and unfortunately Hudson went out of business. Daniel Defense bought all of their patents and came out with this pistol. It's my understanding they only used 2 of those patents, and you can see many design similarities between the two guns, but not everything is the same. And one thing you'll notice is that the takedown procedures are going to be different. The Hudson H9 has a lever, kind of in the typical place you'll see for semi-automatic pistols. And the Daniel H9 has these tabs more like a Glock, and I want to show the difference between the two. But for reference, let's go back and take a look at the Hudson H9. I have done a range report and field strip on this gun in the past, but just to show you again, I will drop the magazine, ensure there is no ammunition in it. Of course, we will safety check the firearm, ensure there is no ammunition. Then we're going to take the slide and lock it back. Then we're going to go to the right side of the pistol, and I'm going to take the base plate of the magazine and push this lever out from the right side. It will snap, just like that. Go to the left side. We can take this lever, turn it down, grab onto the slide, release the slide stop, and then let the slide go home slowly, and then pull the trigger, and then the slide will come off. There is your frame. You'll notice the recoil spring stays in the frame. Then we can simply pull out the barrel, and there is your slide. And that's how to take the Hudson H9 apart. So now let's see what's different on the Daniel H9. Like before, drop the magazine, ensure there's no ammunition in that one. Of course, safety check this firearm as well. Ensure there's no ammunition in it. Looks like we are good. Now, like a Glock, you're going to want to pull the trigger and dry fire this gun. Once you do that, you're going to pull the slide back by about 1/4 of an inch, and you're going to pull down on these tabs, just like a Glock. However, I have found that this is actually kind of difficult, and my bigger fingers make this difficult. So if I pull straight down on these tabs, it doesn't work. These tabs seem like they want to come forward a little bit. So I like to come down and up, and that gives me the grip that I need. So I'm going to pull this slide back about 1/4 of an inch, pull these slide tabs down and forward, and then the slide should come off like that. And that actually took me quite a few tries to get used to that. I think this is a very difficult pistol to actually field strip, because you will struggle with that until you learn exactly how those tabs work, or I did anyway. You'll notice the recoil spring comes out of the slide. Unlike the Hudson H9, then we can pull the barrel out, and there is your slide. One of the big differences, of course, is that recoil spring. And one of the things I liked about the Hudson H9 was how low that recoil spring sat in that frame. But Daniel Defense has given us a little tab here to lower that recoil spring, but it's nowhere near as far as the original. And I actually think this is a little bit of a compromise. I think that they tried to figure out a way to make this look a little bit more like a traditional pistol, but still lower this recoil spring mechanism. So I have done a range report on this particular pistol, and as I said, I do think it's a little bit of a compromise. But that's how to field strip it. But since I'm getting this gun back from the range, I need to clean it up, and so let me do that, and then we're going to put this gun back together. So I have the Daniel Defense Daniel H9 all cleaned up and ready to go back together, but I want to show the reassembly of both of these pistols once again, highlighting the differences. Let's start once again with the Hudson H9. On the frame, make sure that you have the lever in the down position. take your slide, you take the barrel and put it in through the rear, but because the recoil spring is in the frame, you don't have to put it into the slide. I find this is easier to keep the slide upside down, because if you try to put it onto the frame this way, because the recoil spring isn't in it, the barrel will often slide down and make your life a little bit difficult. So I put the slide upside down, bring the frame this way on top, slide it all the way back. Then you're going to pull the slide all the way where you can lock it open with the slide stop. Then you'll take the lever, move it up, and then push it in. And then you can release the slide stop and you are good. Insert the magazine, and that is how you reassemble the Hudson H9. So now let's put together the Daniel H9. We'll start with the slide. We'll put the barrel in the slide like a normal semi-automatic pistol. Now on the recoil spring mechanism, you'll notice there's a little tab, and this tab has to go towards the barrel. So it's going to go in like this, and there's a little notch, if I can get it in focus here, on the barrel where that little ledge has to go. It all has to line up, and you'll know it's right if once it's in, you look from the side if it looks like the recoil spring is straight with the barrel. Now here it's pretty close, but as you can see, it's not right. So let me adjust it and put it into that little notch there, and I believe we got it that way. So now the barrel and the recoil spring are parallel. Let's take our frame, put it onto the frame, and then just like a Glock, once I pull it back far enough, the tabs will just engage and your gun is back together. And of course, reinsert the magazine, and then of course, function check it. So that is how you disassemble and reassemble for cleaning and maintenance the Daniel H9 and the Hudson H9 side by side, showing the differences. So I hope this video helps somebody in the future. In some ways, I think this is a simplified design, but in some ways it's a compromise. And I actually think the original is a little bit easier to get apart. So some people may like this. I find it's more difficult. So once again, I hope this helps somebody in the future. And as always, thanks for watching.